Hello and welcome back to Shelley's Chit Chat Cafe. I'm Shelley, your life coach for life. And today I'm going to do a cooking segment. I promise, and today I'm delivering. On the menu today will be baked salmon, sauteed spinach, and chicken kale rice. Chicken kale rice. And that's what we're having. If you're interested, grab your coffee, your tea, or your favorite drink, and let's get started. Welcome to my kitchen, and today we're going to attempt to cook some baked salmon, which is good for you. It has the omega-3s and the fatty acids. I'm going to start with putting olive oil on. I also have, and I got this from another influencer, The Life I'm Living. This is chopped up real fine onions, garlic, and also olive oil to preserve it in the refrigerator. I am using today, we're going to be using Jamaican seasoning, parsley flakes, rosemary, and crushed peppers. I also am going to be using some, chicken bouillon, and you'll see where. I already have everything mixed up in my bowl here. We're also going to be putting on top of it, as it bakes, on top of the salmon, we're going to put red bell peppers, and we're going to have some red tomatoes. And then I'm going to top it off with the lemons, fresh pepper, and salt. So let's get ready. Now we have to separate the small portion that I have. I'm cooking for two tonight. So I'm just going to cut through, and the reason why it's a little tough, it has skin on the other side, and probably because my knife is not as sharp as I want. So this is the skin on the side. What we're going to do now is use the seasoning, and I'm just going to sprinkle the seasoning on the fish. Oh, hold on. I meant to put we need to put the olive oil first so that the seasoning can stick onto the fish. Just a little bit on there. You don't need a whole lot. Just make sure we want all our seasoning to stay. So then we're going to sprinkle the seasoning on the fish. Massage it a little. My hands are clean. Just making sure it's all over it. We're going to use some fresh cracked pepper. This is going to be spicy. I like spiciness. Not too spicy, but spicy enough. Now that we seasoned the salmon, I got 2 strips of foil. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this foil into like a little stock before we put it into the oven. I am also going to layer lemons on top, about 2 lemons per piece. And we're going to wait for that. And we're going to bake. So now what you have to do is put a little bit of more olive oil over everything, because the olive oil is going to make it moist. And we're going to just take the foil and fold it over like a tent, cover the sides up. Remember, it's a tent. And then we're going to place both of these pieces onto a flat cookie pan or flat pan, and we're going to put it in the oven for about 25 minutes on 400 degrees. While the fish is cooking, now we can start on the rice dish. This rice dish contains onions, garlic sauteed with kale, and then 2 cups of pre-washed and pre-soaked. I soaked the rice for about 20 minutes, and we're going to also use olive oil to saute, and I'm using the chicken broth to cook it. Okay, almost like a rice-a-roni deal. So we need to turn the fire on. Sort of high, because right now we're going to do a saute. So right now we're going to just put some olive oil. Make sure it covers the bottom. You don't have to worry about olive oil too much. It's really good for you as well. And so we're going to start with, I'm going to give, that's a big thing. So that's about 2 teaspoons, sorry. Maybe about 4 teaspoons altogether. Just eye it how you like it. So we're going to start with that and saute it. You don't have to put too much seasoning because you don't want to use a lot of salt in your food. You can always add salt at the end to make sure it tastes good. Now while this is sauteing, we're going to just spread it out so it can cook evenly. And we're going to add kale to the mix. Now you can hear it sizzling at this point, and that's when the sauteing begins. Now you can start adding the rice. Remember, I've already pre-soaked it. This just allows the rice to cook a little faster, and it won't stick so much. So what you're doing is you're just going to saute the rice around for a while. It smells really good with the onions and the garlic. And remember, you can add salt and pepper if you like at this point. I am trying my best not to do so much salt in my life because of the high blood pressure that I have. So with the chicken broth that I'm going to be putting in the rice, that should be enough seasoning. So now that we saute this, just give it a little bit more time to saute a little bit more. And you can see now the green speckles of the kale. And remember, kale is really good for you too. So if you can incorporate vegetables in any dish, let it be so. And remember, rice is a carbohydrate, so you don't need to have a lot of rice with your food. You can have rice. Just be moderate on what you're eating. If you're on a keto diet, that's something you probably would not want to use. If you're counting your carbs, for average person, it's about 40 to 50 carbs. Now what we're going to do is add the chicken broth. And I'm adding 2 cups. I should have measured it, but I'm going to eye it. 2 cups. Yeah, it's about 2 cups. Stir it around a little bit more. And now we're going to let it boil. And once it starts boiling, we're going to let it simmer and just cook as regular rice. Shouldn't take too long. Alright, now that the rice is done and we're still waiting to get the fish out the oven, we're going to do our last part of the dish, which is the spinach. So we're going to saute the spinach. When I saute spinach, it tastes a little better than boiling. I feel like when I boil the spinach, all the nutrients just boils out of it. So again, I'm going to be using onions and garlic, 2 tablespoons. Saute that first. And some olive oil. So we're going to get it started. And once I start smelling the garlic, then I know it's time to put in the spinach. Okay. Yeah, smell it. So we put a little bit more olive oil in. Oh. And in this spinach, we're going to be using some, mushrooms, just to make it a little bit fancy. Hold on. You want to put the mushrooms in first because the mushrooms, they really absorb all of the juice. And the mushroom has like a meaty taste, which kind of gives some substantial taste to the spinach. So we're going to saute this for a minute. It don't have to be long, so we don't need a whole lot of mushrooms. Now we're gonna, you can hear it simmer. Put a little bit of more olive oil. Remember, the olive oil is good for you. You don't have to worry about, oh my God, it's gonna be so greasy. So now we'll start adding the spinach. And I know it looks like it's a lot from this bowl, but you know how spinach is. Spinach starts to shrink really easy. And it doesn't take long to cook at all. We don't want to lose it. All right. I'm going to keep this going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep adding to the skillet as I saute. And when I'm finished with that, we're going to put it all together and you're going to see the finished product. The food came out really, really good. Take a look. Now, after we eat, we will let you know, or I will let you know how it tastes. Give me a minute. Thank you. Okay, now we're finished eating this delicious meal, and it is my birthday, so I wanted to make sure that I did cook a delicious meal for my birthday and wanted to share it with you. If you like this video, don't forget to click like and share this video with someone else who may want to try the dish. And if you want more information, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next week. Bye. It's a lot of candles. Okay. Yes, to me, yes. And these are all my gifts. I'm so happy. I got really small gifts. I mean, they're good things. And my grab bag of gifts. So thank you for celebrating with me my birthday. Have a good evening.